Hi everyone. So this is the highly rated Omega slow masticating juicer, and it's my first juicer, and I'm going to demonstrate how to assemble, use, and clean it. And I'm going to be making Lou Corona's lemon ginger blast daily juice recipe, and it's a wonderful recipe. I've already lost 4 pounds since juicing for the past 6 days. His recipe is alkalizing, it's energizing, it's detoxifying, and I'll give you the backstory on Lou Corona a little bit later, but this juice recipe is just amazing and I absolutely love it. So thank you for joining me here at Earthwalk Harmony, where I share delicious vegan recipes and tips on how to live a more harmonious, resonant lifestyle, because living in harmony allows you to do what you enjoy more and enjoy what you do more. Okay, let's get started. So this juicer comes in a monster box, but it's not as intimidating as it seems. It's packaged disassembled, so you need to put it together first. So just be sure to take a look at the little instructional manual and get familiar with the parts, then wash them in some warm soapy water, and then you can set up your juicer. So this main part is the housing, and it's got a handle up here so you can move it around with ease. And the on and reverse switch are back here at the rear. And so just make sure it's unplugged before you begin to assemble it. Okay, so this next piece, this is the drum, and it's attached to the chute. So the drum is where all the juicing takes place, and the chute is where you're going to be inserting the produce and pressing it down with this little guy, which is called the pusher. And if you own a Vitamix, you'll probably associate this with like the tamp or the tamper. So you'll just be pushing the produce down into the chute. And so the housing actually has a locking dial on it, and there's some little stickers here. It's open and close, clockwise, counterclockwise. So you want to make sure it's open. You're going to take the drum and you're going to insert it this way, the little yellow part towards the housing. And there's no like clicking or anything. You just kind of fit it in until it feels secure, and then and it feels straight and even and secure, and then you just move the locking dial to close. Okay, so that's the first part. And so the next part, this is called the auger, and it has this sort of like spirally drill-like impression in it. And this is actually what pulverizes the produce. So, and then it actually moves the pulp towards the end of the drum to be excreted into the pulp container. So you're just gonna put this in here, into the housing, directly in, and same thing, no clicking, just put it in firmly until it feels secure. And then the next part is the juice strainer. Okay, and so this part is where the actual juice comes out from here through this little sieve, this little mesh-like material, and then the pulp comes out here. So you want to get the flat protruding part going towards the housing and on the bottom, and you're just going to place it right in there, just like that, firmly. And then the last part of this section is the adjustable end cap, and it has an adjustment here to either increase or reduce the pressure of tension, which is supposed to create more juice depending on the type of produce that you're using. So once again, at the end of the drum, there's an open and a close directional words that are impressed into the plastic. So you're just going to put the adjustable cap on the end until it fits in, and just turn it towards the close until it's there. And then you can adjust the pressure or the tension at the tip here. And so the directions say you want to go counterclockwise or tighter for citrus, and clockwise for like leafy greens, wheatgrass, cilantro, parsley. I don't know if I'm not doing it right or haven't had much luck so far. I am a beginner, So far, whenever I use leafy greens, I do get a little bit of residue. I thought at first it was because my cilantro was a little wilty, so I'm using more fresh, perky, greens. So, but the same thing happened last night, so we'll see what happened. Well, I mean, we'll see how it goes this time. So anyhow, I think I'm gonna do, I am starting out with the citrus. So I think I'm going to do counterclockwise and just keep the pressure pretty tight. Okay, so next we're going to go ahead and put the hopper on top. And this just helps catch any spills so you don't get your, juicer all messy. It does come in handy when you're putting leafy greens up here. And then we have the juice container, and there is also a sieve that goes on top because juicers notoriously create a lot of foam. So you'll want to go ahead and put that on top and place it right up against the housing. And the final piece is the pulp container. And a little trick I learned when I was researching juicers is to use like a baggie, and just line it, and that'll just kind of reduce your cleanup. And also, if you're going to do something with the pulp, like I don't know, mulching, or give it to a neighbor who has a garden, or I guess there could be some recipes too, like maybe some veggie burgers. So maybe you'll want to freeze it. But anyways, so this is really nice. It helps ease the cleanup a little bit. So that's that. And then I just use this to pour the juice into before I pour it into an actual jar. So I'll just go ahead and set that right there. Okay, so it's all set up and we're ready to go. Okay, so I already washed and cleaned all my fruits and vegetables, and I like to wash them with like some dish soap just to kind of break up. I know sometimes they put like wax on apples and stuff, so I do like to wash them. I do use like a green dish soap, 7th generation or something like that. Anyways, and so and then what I do is I spray them with some vinegar just to kill off any microorganisms that might be on them. And then I just kind of let them set, then I rinse them. I rinse them after the vinegar. So my produce is all ready to go. So let me tell you a little bit about Lou Corona. Lou Corona is a raw vegan, and he has a supplement line, and he promotes health and wellness through nutrition and spirituality, which he calls, based on something that he calls the 4 principles. And I'll leave the link below in the description box. His line is called Puradyme, I believe, and you can go ahead and check that out if you like. It looks really interesting. I haven't personally tried any of his products yet. I might. They look pretty good, so I just might. I'm kind of researching him a little more, but his lemon ginger blast juice recipe is very popular. It's all over the internet, and it's incredibly healing. And there are different modifications to it. You'll see it presented in different ways, but there is like a basic recipe, and you can kind of modify it as you see fit. So his backstory basically is Lou Corona was very healthy and active and vibrant up until his 20s, and at which time he said when he returned from, I guess, military boot camp, his health began to deteriorate, and he got to the point where he was only going to the bathroom like once every 3 weeks. And I know, it's crazy. So needless to say, he just got completely toxic. His body was so toxic, and the toxicities just started coming out in the form of rashes and acne. And I think he said he even got he began to develop a tumor on the back of his neck. And so he knew he needed to do something. And so that's when he started getting into like the raw veganism and the juicing and that sort of thing. So the lemon ginger blast recipe basically consists of, and so he used this recipe. I guess he drank like a quart a day, and he said it was just very healing, and it helped clear up a lot of his issues, restore his digestion, restore his health and vitality. So I've been using it I've been drinking it every day, not a quart, but I probably want to start. I mean, it looks pretty good, and I've been feeling pretty good. And usually, I drink green tea, that's my main source of caffeine, but some days when I drink this, I don't even need the caffeine. I don't even need it. I just feel energized already, and I feel an even sense of energy throughout. You know, it's just continuous. So it's really nice. So the basic recipe is 1 lemon, 2 apples, a cucumber, a bunch of celery, a bunch of cilantro, a bunch of parsley, a piece of ginger, a piece of turmeric, and he says like 1 to 3 habaneros. So let me just tell you, I'm a mild to moderate salsa person, so 1 is plenty for me. And in fact, I'm gonna modify mine today. If you're new to juicing, green juice is really strong and overwhelming at first. And so, of course, the lemon helps, the apples help, and I do like to use green apples because in traditional Chinese medicine, bitter and sour flavors, they tend to disperse toxins more, disperse like mucoid deposits, a different buildup in the body. So I always use green apples when I'm preparing shakes or smoothies or juices. But I'm also including pineapple. And what was really wonderful is the pineapple with the habanero almost makes it feel like you're, you know, indulging in one of those kind of sweet salsas, you know, like the pineapple or the mango salsa. So it makes it really delicious. I also have another juicer. It's a specific like citrus juicer. I love it. It's by Breville. I bought it years ago and it's one of my favorite kitchen appliances. So I'll just get like a bunch of lemons and limes and just juice them all at one time for the week and just put them in little containers in the fridge. So that way, if I do have my juice, my green juice, and I wanna like bump up the tartness or whatever, or the fruity flavor, I'll just like throw a dash of lemon juice in there. So, and maybe I'll show you that later. But anyways, so now in the instructional booklet, it does say that whatever you're trying to flavor your juice with, whatever the dominant flavor you want to be, you should use those fruits or vegetables first. So I'm gonna be starting out with the lemons and the apples and the pineapples. However, there is also a technique where you need to alternate hard and soft produce because there can be a lot of clogging here in the chamber, and we are going to need to use the reverse button. So the reverse button on the back here, you can think of as like pulse, like on your blender or your food processor. It just it only is active as long as you're depressing it. So you'll have to like press it a couple of times occasionally to sort of back up the produce and get it moving again. And then I'll usually like to stick like a piece of celery through to force everything through because that's like the hardest thing we're working with today. Well, aside from the ginger and the turmeric, but there's only one of each of those, so they go by pretty quickly. Okay, so let's get started here. So I'm going to plug the juicer in to an outlet. And I'm going to turn it on back here at the rear. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to start with lemon. Nice. Go ahead and put an apple in. This is awesome. It's so beautiful. I love it. I really do. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to have this juicer and to have finally, you know, tried it. I was always curious about it and sort of semi-interested, but it just seemed like a lot of work. And it kind of is, you know, because you need to do your research and decide which one you want to get, you know, and you know, maybe even wait for it to go on sale if that's the case, because they can be fairly expensive. But now that I got it, I'm super excited. I feel like I made a good choice. And there's always room for growth. You know, I know there's a lot of different juicers, various types of juicers, and different juicers have different pros and cons. So, but I'm pretty happy with this one. It does take a while, but the benefits of using a slow masticating juicer are that you preserve more of the enzymes and nutrients because the action isn't as fast or heating, which would be kind of destroying the integrity But I mean, honestly, I don't know what the difference is. I don't know how much of an impact that makes. So I think any juicing is good, probably. Okay, see, it's getting a little cloggy in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit reverse. And you'll see it coming back. Yep, there comes the pulp. And then I'm gonna go forward, and it might be time for a stick of celery. Kind of shake, get things moving a little bit. And you really wanna try to use all organic if you can. If you're not using organic, you probably wanna peel, you know, the produce. Cucumber. It smells amazing. I mean, when you smell this, it's like just life. It just feels like you're smelling life. It's so wonderful. Let's see, I'm gonna hit reverse again. So because it does take a while, honestly, I like to just make a bunch of juice, you know, once or twice a week, and just have it there in the fridge. Now, I know everyone says it is best to drink the juice freshly made, and it likely is, but I think if it's sealed in a jar, a lot of people are okay with, you know, drinking it over like 3 to 4 days, and it's still maintaining a lot of the nutrients. So, some more pineapple in here. Okay, so I'm going to do some of the leafy greens in a minute. Well, you know what? Let's throw a half a habanero. Oh my gosh, it smells so good, so good. So I'm gonna put some leafy greens in so you can see how that works, how it looks, and then I'm just going to step away from the camera for a little bit and go ahead and work on this, and then I'll come back and you can see, you know, the end result. So you don't have to sit and watch this whole process. So I'm hitting reverse again because it's getting kind of cloggy. So I'm on camera. Let's go a little tighter. Okay, so I have some parsley. So it says a bunch, and when I looked online, it said that a bunch of parsley or cilantro is considered like, I don't know, about 15 stems. So that's what I'm using, and I cut off the thicker part of the stems because when they're too long, they do get caught around the auger a lot, and then you end up having to hit reverse like a lot more. Okay, so yeah, see, they're going in there pretty nicely. Again, cilantro. So cool. See, one's getting wrapped around the auger. Let me go ahead and put another celery in. You can see the produce coming out here. The pulp. And sometimes this little sieve gets filled up pretty quickly. So sometimes I'll just like run my finger in there, and as you like kind of just spin it around a little bit, you're working the juice through the sieve. Because if it gets filled to the top, then you know you're gonna have to stop what you're doing and kind of disrupt your flow. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up, and then I will be back and show you guys this lovely juice. Final stick of celery. Stick or stalk. And it didn't really take all that long. And I made a lot of juice. And I saved one piece of pineapple for myself because I love pineapple. I'm just going to reverse it to kind of clear it out because I can still see juice coming out of the bottom. So. Looking good. Yeah, there's still some pulp coming out here. I think that's good. Okay, so turn it off and unplug it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the hopper. We're going to clean all this stuff. Then the adjustable end cap. Let's see, there's a little bit of pulp in there. Okay, and then the juice filter, and that gets pretty messy. And I don't think you want to put your fingers on the inside. I think there's blades in there. So it does come with a little cleaning brush. And it works pretty well, but I have another brush I like to use also that works really well. I want that to slide off the counter. Okay, and just the pusher. And allergies. Okay, so the auger, I'm just gonna wiggle it a little bit. There we go. Ooh, be careful, it's hot. It's hot right here on the metal. There's the auger. And I actually had to make 2 batches because the juice receptacle was getting filled up, so I already poured some of it into there. And then open. There's the drum. So this is what I was talking about. So a lot of pulp catches in the sieve and foam, and what that does is it blocks up the juice. So we're just going to go ahead and I'm just going to stir it around a little bit with a whisk, and you can hear the juice coming out, the excess juice that would have been wasted. That's good. Okay, there's that. And here's the juice. So I'm gonna set this over here. And honestly, I don't even think I can fit that in there. So luckily I have this really big jar, and I love this jar. This is an old Kraft mayonnaise jar from before I turned vegan. And I just, I fell in love with glass, and I used to save all these jars like crazy, and I wouldn't even be using them all. I just hoarded them because I love them. But this one, I've never seen. I don't even know if they make these anymore, and I'm not sure how much is in it. I don't know if it's like a pint or I'm not sure, honestly. If somebody knows, go ahead and make a comment below because I don't know how much it holds. But anyways, so I'm gonna pour some of the juice into here. And it does leak a little bit. These spouts are not like amazing, but I'm gonna do it as carefully as I can. Okay, so there we go. Oh, that's going pretty well. Nice. Now this is the tricky part because this lip is pretty wide, so you just want to be really careful and deliberate and not too fast, otherwise it just flies right out. There we go. Get all of that juice. Oh, goodness. Okay, and here we go again. And then I'm gonna do a taste. So here's my little juice glass from an old Tupperware party. So Tupperware, vintage Tupperware is a thing now. How crazy is that? All right, to your health. Thank you, Lou Corona. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's so green and so vibrant. You just feel the energy in your system, in your being. It just, you feel like this little, it's hard to explain, but it's very energizing. It's delicious. It's wonderful. I'm so grateful for everything. I'm so grateful. And I'm grateful for you guys being here with me watching this. And you really should try it. It's amazing. I love it. Oh, woo! I'm alive! Okay, so I think I'm gonna drink this today. So we broke it down. So let me show you how to get this stuff cleaned up, okay? We're gonna move on over to the sink. Okay, so I don't know if this angle is entirely ideal, but so this is the brush that it comes with, and this is the brush that I also like to use in addition. This is by OXO. So I'm gonna start with these two parts because they're kind of the dirtiest. And you can actually kind of clean this auger with a dish pad, and it cleans up pretty easily. And I haven't had anything get stuck in here yet, but just in case, I'm just going to go ahead and use that brush. I think this is really the only part you really need to be careful with. As I said, I think there's some blades in here. So use this brush. See, I think this one works a little better at getting the residue out, pulp and stuff. Yeah, much better. And then I'm just going to give it a gentle, actually, because I don't want to dull the blades either, so I'm going to use a bottle brush and just give it a little, there, little push. Okay. And then up here is where you really want to be vigilant, because this is where, the first time I did it, and I used this brush, I thought I got everything, and then when I went to go use it again, there was all this dried up, build up crud on there, green stuff. So that's the main part that you want to make sure you're getting very clean. And up under this plastic lip also, a lot of stuff can get hidden. It's stuck under there. So I just like to go in a circular motion. And check it out very thoroughly. There, looks good. Yeah, looks clean. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's do the sieve next. So I can just get rid of some of this pulp in here. And it comes out pretty easily. And once again, you can just basically just use like a dish pad on that. Okay, looks good. And then we'll do the drum. It's pretty messy. Okay. So for the drum, I'm just going to use the dish pad for the inside. Give the mouth of all the openings with a little wipe. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the bottle brush for the chute and for this exit here. And then I'm going to use the little baby tip, the more pointed tip of the bottle, whoops, for this portion here. There. All right. Very clean. You can put these in the dishwasher. I'm really picky about what I put in my dishwasher. I don't like the funky film, and I don't know. I mean, I've used things that said they're dishwasher safe and put them in the dishwasher, and then even like on the right rack, you know, and then had it like get discolored or just look funky or melt, you know. So I'm very particular about what I actually put in the dishwasher. And because this is sort of a high-end appliance, you know, I want to take care of it and make it last and get some good use out of it. So, what's next? The hopper. Oh, the end cap. End cap. So most of the rest of the stuff you can pretty much just use like a bottle brush and a dish pad to clean, and then it just goes by pretty easily. Clean. Wipe down the hopper. I'm telling you, I love this juicer. Oh my gosh. I wish I would have done this a long time ago, but I guess we do things when the time is right, right? And then the pusher. And honestly, I don't even have to wash the produce part, the pulp container, if I didn't want to, because, I mean, look at this. It's as easy as that. I mean, I can give it like a rinse down, but so easy. Just go ahead and do it. And that is it. And then all you have to do is just, you know, clean out your sink and you're good. So, not really difficult. So, thank you all again so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informational. Be sure to like that video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you all next time. To your health. Ah, yes.